Okay, doctrine, the Son of Man. Repeatedly Christ called himself the Son of Man, Matthew 26:45. Somebody asked me one time why he did that and did it belittle him. And I couldn't get the question out of my head, and I couldn't determine the answer until one day I heard an older preacher point out that man was given dominion over the earth. That was in Genesis 1:26. There's a book, a scroll in heaven that required a man to open it. That's in Revelation 5:1-4. In the King James Version, the text says, "And no man in heaven or on earth or under the earth was able to open the book, neither to look thereon." Adrian Rogers called this the title deed to the earth, which man was given dominion over. That might explain why God himself would not open it, even though it's not that he couldn't, but because he had given his word that man had dominion over the earth, he wouldn't open it. I believe it might be the scroll mentioned in Daniel 12, but I don't know that. And the rapture is also mentioned in Daniel 12:1-2. This would explain the Lord looking down to find a man, an intercessor, someone to work salvation, and sorrowing that he found none. The nature of God has to be that to him time is like a huge book, because he's the Alpha and the Omega, and nothing in time is hidden from him. So many people tend to believe the things that happen on earth are the will of God, but I contend that many things that happen on earth are because God gives man free will, and that just because the Lord knows they will happen does not mean they're his personal will. It just means he has access to omniscient knowledge of what men are capable of and will do. Those of you who've read Revelations know that the scroll is the instrument that brings about judgment on the earth, which Christ has every right to do as the Son of Man, who has dominion as man over the earth. One of the key things to remember about God is that God is not a man that he should lie. Numbers 23:19. Therefore, when God said man had dominion over the earth, he did not lie or compromise that rule. If Christ had not come as a man, the earth would likely continue on in a fallen state into eventual self-destruction, and man also would continue on in a fallen state infinitely. The wages of sin is death, Romans 6:23, and no man is sinless except Christ, the Son of Man. Because Christ lived a sinless life, then death, which is Lucifer's covenant with man, had no covenant with Christ, and death could not hold him. Because death claimed him, Christ gained control over death, Revelation 1:18. Now death is a debtor to Christ. And this is why God had to send his very heart to live in a fleshly tabernacle among men, to die a horrible death in order to bring about true justice, the end of the fall of man in the world, to save those who consider Christ worthy to be their Savior, and to eventually usher in a new heaven and a new earth, Isaiah 65:17. This is why God wouldn't simply make the rule that we say we're sorry and be forgiven, not without Jesus as an intercessor. Thank you.